All right, now it's time to take a look at what you missed from Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears, and Dennis Pitta is here again today to break down the film. And Dennis, this was a game really on both sides of the ball. The Ravens struggled. The offense couldn't get much going, and then defensively they allowed a franchise record 231 rushing yards. We'd never seen that here in Baltimore. So let's start with that defense. What did the Bears do that allowed them to have so much success running the football?
Well, yes, it was a record-setting day for the Bears, and we knew going into this game the Bears were going to try and run the football. That was their MO. That's what they excelled at early on in the season, and especially bringing a rookie quarterback into our stadium where under the John Harbaugh era, they've gone 0-10 against the Ravens team. And so you knew they were going to try and run the football, and they did it with success. But when you really break it down and look at it, it wasn't all that productive for them. You know, if you take out that 53-yard run in overtime, really they only had 180 yards rushing on 50-something carries. It's only a 3.5 or so average. It's quite pedestrian if you ask me, and they ran the ball a ton, so the stats look inflated. But in reality, we need to take a look and see what really happened.
So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look at the film here. And I want to start with these plays. John Harbaugh talked this week about how the Ravens allowed too many yards between the tackles. That's what you see on this play here. It seemed like they were running a lot of the stretch zone, and that opened things up in the cutback lanes.
Yeah, and the Bears are largely a zone run game team. And so you look at us here, we have committed 10 defenders into the box. We are trying to stop the run here. You have both safeties playing up into the box. Eric Weddle with a vice technique, which means he's up in the tight end's face, trying to get him off the line, and you have Tony Jefferson also walked up. But unfortunately, the Bears do a really good job of stringing everybody out and working a cutback lane, and Jordan Howard does a nice job with his vision, being able to work back and find a gap, and unfortunately, Peanut Owasu is unable to close the gap, gets kicked out, and you see a big running lane.
Yeah, this was a theme really throughout the game, and this is something that we've seen not just in this game, but previously this season too, is that they have these cutback lanes, and then you're able to get to that second level of defense and pick up 6, 7, 8 yards early on downs. So as difficult as this game was, there were some plays that you can look at and you can say, oh, these are positive plays. These are examples of what the Ravens can do when the defense is playing at a high level. There was a number of plays where either the Ravens brought the guy down in the backfield or they're getting him for 1 or 2 yards, and this is an example. It seems like Matt Judon, he's the one that really blew up this play.
Yeah, and Matt Judon had a big day. I think it was 14 tackles, 2 sacks. He was an impact both in the run game and the pass game. You see here, his job is to set the edge on the tight end. He drives him back, gives the running back nowhere to go on this wide zone stretch play, gets him down for a loss. And so he had a big day. I think Suggs also did a nice job setting the edge. But unfortunately, it was the chunk plays, 7, 8 yards that got him at the end.
So yeah, we saw Matt Judon there, Dennis, and he's somebody that coming into his career as a 5th-round pick out of Grand Valley State, we knew he could get after the quarterback. He's come a long way in the run-stuffing department, but he can still find these quarterbacks, and that's what he does on this play here, a nice sack in the second half of the game.
Well, yeah, and you see this play here. This is another creative design blitz by Dean Pease. We have Anthony Levine walked up to the line of scrimmage, C.J. Mosley's walked up as well, and you have Matt Judon who runs a stunt off of C.J. Mosley. So C.J. runs forward, tries to get the attention of the guard in this case. Matt Judon comes underneath. The running back gets confused, should have passed it off and picked up Matt Judon, but he comes free and gets the sack there.
So Matt Judon, he was a bright spot in this game in his second year in the league, in his first season as a full-time starter. We hope to see more plays like that from him in the future. So the Ravens will look to get back on track this weekend in Minnesota. Dennis, as always, appreciate the time, and that is what you missed this week.